One thumbs up. Waiting for guests. Let's see if Jim shows up. And excited to be here. Truly excited. Welcome. Whoa. Welcome guests. Welcome partners. We are excited to be here with you this evening, calling all gamblers. This is the no gambling permanent zone. This is the place to be. This is where you can regenerate. This is the place where you can recalibrate. This is the place where you can optimize your mind for a better kind. Problem gambling is a difficult grind. This is the right place to be. So get in your ride, strap your seatbelt on nice and tight, click it or ticket. Make sure that you got your Make sure that you have your POI tools, folks. Come on now. You want to defeat that thing? We're waiting for Jim to come on here. You want to defeat that thing? You want to be in the permanent no gambling zone on a daily? How bad do you want it? Feels good to be on the winning side, my friend. Partner, guest. If you're not soldier scribed, make sure that you're soldier scribed to this channel. Turn your notifications to all, please. And be ready to receive. Turn on your belief. Turn on your belief. I'm going to be looking for questions here on this program tonight on this platform that we have to be able to do some special things to ourselves. What do you mean, Santos? Man, I want to be free. I want to have peace. I want to have a little bit of extra income. I want to stop the gamble. I want to walk in wisdom. Hey, me too. Welcome. Hopefully you can see me here. Let me see what's going on. Oh, Jim's here. All right. Let's see if we can add him on the camera. I don't know if we're going to be able to add him on. We should be able to. Hey, Coach Jimbo.
Hey there, Santos. Good evening. How you doing?
I'm working on super fantastic. Good to see you here. Excited. Time's gonna go by very quick, folks. I hope. Listen, if you're here, you're not here by an accident. You didn't just stumble across Soldiers of Self Mastery. It's a divine appointment that you're here. So stay here. Listen, time is gonna go back. What else are you doing? What guest, partner, what else are you doing? Stay here. Share the live if you want to. Stay here. It's a comfortable place. Maybe not so comfortable, but it's gonna help you become comfortable in the near future. All right. Coach Santos, Stockton, California. I'll be your host, Coach Jim out of Tucson, Arizona. We're going to do our best to focus on you, your question, on you, on the other side. And today's topic, I don't have the proverb in front of me today. I believe it was a great proverb. I did read it. I posted it on Facebook, but I don't have it in front of me. But we are going to talk a little bit about working your person under the more difficult circumstances of today. Working your person or through the most difficult times that you're in today. We're living in some real, let me tell you something. Before I go on, I'm going to have Jim share. I've been on the road traveling a little bit, visiting some old stomping grounds. I was in the military for 8 years, so I was visiting the area, very familiar territory. Feels kind of, I don't know, nostalgic maybe. Before I got here, right in front of me, there was an accident on the freeway. A car collided right in front of me. Car collided right in front of me. This first incident that happened today, I tell you, I'm sharing this with you folks because you don't know what's going to happen from one moment to another moment. Then I was on the freeway and a Charger was on the left side, completely just going by the barrier. And there must have been 3 CHPs chasing this guy down the freeway. Man, he was causing a ruckus. I'm like, that's the second incident today that I'm thinking, today's turning out to be an exciting day. Next, you know, you've got a stream of bicycles passing me. One of them almost hit me in the back. You know, those kids, they just like 50, 60 strong, and they just shooting out in the middle of and they get out of the way because they'll run you over on bicycles. One of them almost hit my car. And I'm getting ready for the live feed here. I'm near a beach area here in Alameda, California, which is really cool. I just witnessed a motorcycle wipe out right here in front of me. I'm like, I haven't had days like this, but people are going through difficult times. People are struggling. Oh, and I didn't tell you about the other accident that I saw. I won't even get into that. But, anyways, I'm super excited to be here. I'm hoping to drop some good stuff for you on the other side so that you can get free if you want to live in the PNGZ. So, there's my story. Uh, I'm excited to be here. Let's see what we can learn and apply. Learn and apply. What do we do? We're living in difficult times. What are you doing? How are you handling your person during these times of whatever? Call it an earthquake, call it a tornado, call it a hurricane in life. Jim, share your story there. What's happening in Tucson?
Oh yeah, yeah. You're talking about accidents. You know, um, for me, I got to be careful about the way I think about accidents. Oftentimes, I like to judge. Me, Santos. Unfortunately, I get on the negative side, and that's something that I have to go ahead and be mindful of. When I see an accent, I use first thing that used to come to my mind is, "Oh, learn how to drive." What's wrong with these people?
Yeah,
Screwing things up and stuff. But I'm thinking about, what? That's just a warning to myself. And it could be kind of like a blessing almost. It's like, look, you got to be careful on the road. You got to be watching. You can't be texting. You can't be doing stupid stuff, or you're going to end up like these people, you know? So, I mean, you see these kinds of things happening. It's like,
yeah,
it's a good mindset to try to draw some type of positive from it. I don't know. It's kind of tough to see all these crazy things happen, but really, we can only control what we can control, right? And yeah, but you're talking about the topic of how to deal with hard times, right? That's the topic, how to deal with hard times. What are some strategies on how to
yeah.
deal
We're
with
gonna
hard times?
we're gonna be taking on that subject here, Jim. Let me see. We've got some chats here. Well, I definitely want to welcome Race to the live podcast here. This is, I believe, I'm going to name this one 218. Next one will be 220. Ah, they all got a number. Laura, welcome. Out of time, welcome. Mark, thank you for the wonderful words. City by the Bay, welcome. Race, there we go again, and I'm sure there are a few others that will join in. Um, yeah, so we're talking about how we should be handling how you should be handling yourself during these difficult times that you're going through. And I'm going to throw that out because it's a good life out here. You can make a good life, right? Somewhat you what you make it, but we're going to go through the storms. So how does one maintain without coming apart and ripping somebody else apart? Oh, I'll tell you what else I saw that was really horrible. In fact, I got it on video. I didn't even mention this. I'm standing at the corner with my cell phone. I was actually going to buy a beer. I drink a beer once in a while. And I'm standing there at the corner. Next to this car slams right behind this guy on a bike. So the guy on the bike pulls over, he parks, he gets off the bike, and the guy's yelling at him. American kid, and I'm gonna say it the way it is, a black man, right? To and I'm sitting there looking at this, and the guy's a lot bigger than the young kid. He looked like a kid, just a little hillbilly kid on a motorcycle. And I'm actually recording him, but kind of in disguise. And the guy's yelling at this kid because apparently he went through traffic and he got in between two cars and he nipped the mirror of the car. He just nipped it or something. I don't think he broke it off. If he would have broke it off, I probably would have witnessed a murder. So this guy's yelling at this kid right next to the bar where I was at. I wasn't inside. I didn't get the beer, but I'm out there watching. And next to the guy's demanding money from this kid. And I could see the kid's scared. And he's yelling at him. The guy grabs his helmet. I thought for sure the kid was going to fight back. He was a little bit small compared to the other guy. Next, you know, man, the guy gets irate, and I did try to step in, but because of circumstances, I couldn't. Next, you know, the guy's asking for money, and he told the guy to get in his car. And I was telling the kid, right? I'm right nearby. I said, "Don't get in the car. Don't get in the car." So the guy forces this kid in the car, and they drive off. They leave the motorcycle parked there. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, man, is this really happening to me today? I took a picture of the motorcycle and I said, I'm going to hang here for about 15, 20 minutes because the guy wanted to drive the kid to the ATM. That's all I heard. I want money. Pay me cash. I want money. You know, I'm going to take your helmet and grab the helmet. Oh, he's going to take the whatever he was going to do. So the kid jumped in the car with the guy and took off. And I watched for about 15, 20 minutes to see. And so I had the video, I had the motorcycle, I had the picture of both both the aggressor and the kid. He was just a kid. I was going to call 911, and then the kid walks up the street with the helmet. So I walked over to him and I talked to him for a little bit. Apparently, he got $300 cash from the kid. And I said, dude, he could see me. I said, I was trying to tell you, don't get in that car because you know you could have lost your life, man. Is it Coast Guard right here near the Naval Air Station? I'm like, man, you are one. I was waiting for you to come back. I was going to hang around because there was people that came out of the bar that witnessed the yelling a little bit. You know, some guys that were I think they had been drinking. They came out. What's going on? And man, I was just like, today's been, you know, it didn't have anything didn't happen to me. Not one thing happened to me. But I witnessed a lot of events that could have turned out very, very ugly for these individuals outside of me and might have even impacted my life because I was a witness to something. And folks, you know, when the kid come back, I talked to him for a little bit. In fact, I gave him a a palm. I don't know if you know what palm is, but palm is a high grade. Uh, it's a pepper spray. It's a little one you can carry with you. It's called POM, Palm. I had a few of them in my trunk. I gave him one. I said, you know, I asked him if he goes, no, I'm just a Coast Guard. You know, I'm over here. I said, man, take this. I gave him advice. I said, never let somebody like that get in your face, man. Let them grab your bike, step back. Never confront somebody that close and never get in the car. He was shaking. This kid, man, he's, you know, somebody's son, somebody's brother, a fellow Coast Guard guy that, you know, could risk his life out there. So, what am I saying? Why am I saying all this? What does all this have to do with gambling? Well, it has a lot to do with gambling because, you know, if I was personally gambling, how would I have handled these situations in my life differently? They could have been impacting me differently. My point is that when you're not gambling, your mind is free. You are at peace to observe things and you can get into action when necessary. Maybe that's a little part of what I've learned today of how to maintain. You know, I could have anyhow. This is part of the life. This is the life that we live. We never know what we're going to encounter. But again, indwelling peace and wisdom, being able to think, look at something and stop and think instead of just a knee jerk reaction. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Somebody could have jumped in that fight. I could have tried to jump in that fight thinking they were possibly and maybe ended up losing my life as a result of being dumb and not really observing the situation. Kind of like gambling is the same thing. You can stand back and look at what you're doing. You can look at the casino. You can look at your losses. You can look at your emotional state. You can look back and say, well, what's going on here? Or you can just keep ignoring the signs, right? Ignoring the signs, it's just going to get worse. Your situation, your financial situation, your emotional stability and balance inside. You know the what is it that they call it? The balance, uh, your equilibrium gets off balance, man. Anyhow, uh, that's a little bit of what I've gone through today. Thank you for. I'm going to be looking at your questions. By the way, ask me a question. I got a statement here. Go ahead, Jim. I'm just. I'm excited. I'm excited. You know what? What can I say? I'm excited. Go ahead, Jim. I'm looking for
Yeah.
the questions.
Yeah. When talking about your experiences,
Yeah.
you know, you can relate it to our addictions, right? I mean,
Ken's myth.
recklessness. If we are reckless, if we are not mindful of our behavior, if we just do stuff, I mean, like this kid, this guy, young man riding his motorcycle recklessly through traffic. I know that, it's allowed to ride in between cars, but, the way some of these motorcyclists ride is dangerous, and a lot of times these cyclists, like to have that kind of dangerous mindset, that spirit. Um, but, there are consequences to things that happen. And if you run into the wrong person at the wrong time, man, you can get into this bad situation. So I mean, it's I guess it's about self-control. How are we controlling ourselves? How are we
Mm.
disciplining our behavior and our emotions? It's like, do I want to go ahead and be impulsive and just gun that throttle, you know, down the street, Do I want to let my ego, get the best of me, see those pretty girls on the road and just drive fast and look cool, you know? If you want to go and do that kind of stuff, we have to be aware that there's going to be some consequences for reckless behavior. I mean, like, it's like, and like you said, letting our emotions take over our actions. That's what happened to this guy. He allowed himself to get kidnapped. He allowed himself to get robbed. That's kidnapping. I think that's robbery right
That's
there.
yeah, that's straight
Yeah.
up crazy what I saw.
Yeah. So
This
I mean,
young
like,
kid jumps in the car with
who's
this
right,
guy.
who's wrong? I think we can learn a lot from these things that happen to behavior that's just guided by impulses, emotions, ego, all that kind of stuff.
You
That.
you you have to look at your life.
Mhm.
Wi-Fi still working, looks like. One thing that I remind myself, there's times where you go through difficulties, and then there's times that it's really difficult. I like the less difficult ones too. So this too shall come to pass. This too, this one that I'm going through right now. It's what I tell myself. One of the things that I do. This too shall come to pass. That powerful statement is enough to calm me down. This too shall come to pass. What do you think about that? Just next time you're going through it, you just quietly whisper to yourself, this too shall come to pass.
Yeah, any kind of mantra, right? So it's like, I'm in control. I'm in control. I'm in control of the situation, right? You know, uh, how can I make this situation better? You know, how can I make this situation better? How can I show the best side of myself? Whatever it is, to move you on that positive track. I mean, if you're going through a hard
Yep.
time, if you're religious, focus on
Good
God.
evening.
You know, it's like, focus on God, talk to God, right? Meditate. You know, um, anything that's more empowering for yourself instead of getting out of control. Blame is one thing. We can go and blame. We can get fearful. That's a pretty good one when you say, this too shall pass. And that's basically saying that it's a tough time, but you're stronger than the situation, and you will get over it. As long as you're
Exactly.
alive.
Exactly. That's why when you gamble, those of you that gamble and your life is miserable and you hate it. You just hate it. But yet the mind tricks you into believing that you can't break it. So you don't listen to you listen to that instead of again stopping and thinking, "Oh, wait a minute, who's running the show here? Am I running the show, or is the show running me?" Reflection often, it's like the boxers. You had this recent fight, I didn't see it, Nate Diaz of Stockton, my hometown here, and you had the Jake Paul, the internet YouTube star. uh before they got in the ring to battle, and I'm looking for questions, by the way. I am. If I step away from the camera here, I'm looking for questions. I'm looking for questions that you need answers for, that you want, they're looking for answers for. Reflecting on your wall of fame, taking time to reflect on your wall of fame when times are good, when times are good, you know, when times are fat. Because when the lean times come, your what you reflect on will actually surface. It'll come to the surface. That's why people are able to defeat the thoughts, the triggers, and the temptations, like myself, because we're doing all this stuff beforehand, right? You don't go, man. You're not. Mike Tyson talked about going into a fight. He wasn't prepared for it. I think he lost that fight. He literally said he went into a fight with his back broken or something like that. And I'm not sure if that was the fight he lost, but he wasn't prepared. And that's what we're doing. We're living our lives without preparation every day. Every day you must find your preparation. If you're going to defeat the cycle, if you're going to defeat that that venom, what is it? You have to find the anti-venom, right? You got to look inside yourself. Or is it the anti-venom that defeats the venom? Or is there something else? There's another name for it. So reflection, that's another key, folks. I hope you're taking POIs here. Uh Anyhow, go ahead. Let me see. Ken, welcome, Ken. I didn't see you. What's up? Let me see. Even the money in your bank account is a frequency. Even your car, house, all is a frequency. Raise your vibrations. Raise them. Raise. That's it. Raise them. It's simple, folks. Listen, I don't want to be mean to you, but you're being brainwashed. And that's what you got to understand. If you're not in control, if you know that you're not in control, you're being brainwashed. And you got to identify that thing. You got to identify it. All right. Who else? Go ahead, Jim. You wanted to share. Oh, let me get Bill. Okay. Bill is here. Let me see what he has. I think people don't understand the best thing about your life is that you are alive. Yes, right now you are breathing. Yes, your blood is flowing. You've got all kinds of cells running through your body. You've got an emotional fortress. You've got a defense system within your life that is beyond artificial intelligence of this world. And what are we doing with it? We're sucking up to we're sucking up to all of the impurities, all of the stuff that is getting in the way, interfering with the power, interfering with your genius, your inner, you know, I'm creating things today that I never thought of. You could be creating things for yourself that you never thought of or real can be possible. But what's happening? Again, the dark clouds are coming over. They're just, man, they're pouring rain, right? Heard that before. Don't let the rain, don't let the rain fall on your parade. And you're letting the rain. It is just It's like, the rain's coming down and the wires are getting, like, you can see the smoke coming from the wires, the plastic's burning off those wires that you have going on, and all that circuitry that you got going on is being damaged by that rain, by that stuff that's coming down. And then you wonder why it's hard for you to think. It's hard. You can't even take notes. No, turn it around. Yes, I can take notes. Yes, I am a note taker. Yes, I am a non gambler. Yes, I am this. Yes, I am a business owner. I must be really animated. I am. Yes, I am. Not, I'm going to be. Thinking about, I should. I tried. No, I am a non gambler. Start pumping. I am. Put that in your head. I'm telling you, it's just a matter of time before your software begins to, be uh, upgraded, if you will. Jim, share, please share. Time is going by here and I'm just looking. Go ahead. Rosa
Oh,
joined in.
yeah.
Rosa Ramirez.
I think one of the
Yeah.
viewers talked about triggers. There's a lot of triggers. And
Station.
yeah, a lot of a lot has to do with being prepared. For what we have to face, triggers. I mean, like there's a lot of things that upset us, and the things that upset us push us to our addictions, push us to the comfort zone, right? And the triggers. A lot of the times, the triggers are just uncomfortable places. I mean, like if you have an argument with your wife or your friend or people at work, right? If a customer, if a customer screws you or does something not very pleasant to you, it could make you feel really upset. That's a trigger. It's like we want to go out and flee to a better place, a happier place, you know. And it's like a lot of times we escape to our addictions, like the casino. But it's like, how do you deal with, you know, uh, that place that you go to? Um, I mean, you got to imagine, you got to visualize, you know. Yeah, that particular place may seem happy, feel good, but you know, imagine how you felt when you lost all that money, when you couldn't pay the bills. Bring that back into your imagination. Remember how you felt, you know, um, and possibly that can go ahead and prevent you from getting hurt, and going back to your addiction. And yeah, I don't know if Santos got cut off. I don't know if I'm online or not. Uh, hmm, I don't know. Am I the only one on? I don't know. I don't know if I left or if Santos left.